What is up, everyone? Hello from Sarajevo, Bosnia. This week's video diary is going to be a little different. You're going to go with me on a walk to find some vegan restaurants and cafes. I am a day late by the time I post this, and I really reckoned with myself. Yesterday, I had like a 30-hour commute, and I was in the worst state. I had cramps. I was just like in pain, and I was like pitiful. And a part of me was like, for the sake of authenticity, I should just, I should still record. But I felt like absolute S. So I'm glad I gave myself a day to just relax and recoup. I'm probably gonna walk around this way to finish this out. Like, let me show you all this view. See that in the background? So what I did, what I learned and what I felt. So what I did is I finished hosting in the Philippines. We were in an island called Bohol, and it is so beautiful. And it was exactly the energy and vibe that I was hoping for. With over like 7,400 Filipino islands, I knew that like figuring out which island we were gonna have the mastermind on was gonna be the hardest part. And like the process of elimination was really like avoiding the tourist traps, avoiding the honeymooner spots, and getting to a place that had this local feel, but there's still like things to do. So highly recommend Bohol Panglao. Tagbilaran, I think is the name of the airport, TAG airport code. So that is what I did. It was incredible. I have done this for 8 years, like hosting experiences around the world and having people fly from wherever to like meet me for an experience, whether it's a retreat, a boot camp, or a mastermind. And I'm just like, I never take it for granted that like this is something that I have to get used to being stared at. I never take it for granted that this is something that is like, it's not normal. And it's an honor and a privilege and such an exciting opportunity to just take the online connections and bring them in real life and really cement those like relationships, which I think is ultimately what we all want. It's like actual genuine connections, friendships, and relationships. And the moments where I prioritized like meeting up with people, that's when I felt the strongest in my friendships and connections. So that was amazing. We did some island hopping, some dolphin watching, and what else? Snorkeling, and almost karaoke, kind of karaoke on the boat. We did some powerful masterminding sessions. If you're not familiar with what a mastermind is, it's like you create a mastermind by bringing all of these different people together to put their minds, like bring all of their minds to the table to create solutions for people. So let's say you're at like a round table. This works best in like a circular motion. But if you have like 10 people at a table and you each have 10 to 20 minutes to share what your issues are. And the question prompts that I used were, what does successful enough look like for you this year? And then where do you feel the most stuck? And then based on the context of whatever it is that you share, we then like just pour into that person. And it's like almost like hot seat coaching, but it's all dedicated to helping that person get unstuck. And yeah, I mean, it's a really powerful activity, exercise, whatever you want to call it. And because we had that connection for 8 months prior, it didn't feel weird, and we felt really bonded, and it was so much easier for us to like recognize each other's blind spots. So those are probably my favorite moments of the mastermind. I mean, it's called a mastermind, but it's so much more than that. But I actually really love the masterminding session. Yeah, and then I flew from Manila to Istanbul to Bosnia, where I am now, on like a 36-hour connection. My body is wrecked. Istanbul is literally like, it's such a central, like I had an 8-hour layover there, and I actually discovered that there is a spa in the airport. like Qatar, Singapore, well, Doha, Singapore, and Istanbul, I think, have the 3 most incredible airports in the world in terms of functionality, usage, spaciousness, beauty. It's just, yeah, so that was incredible to be able to spend a good 6 hours in the spa, and then the other like 2 hours or so in the lounge getting breakfast. I only recently recognized that I have elite status with Turkish, so I get lounge access even if I'm not flying business. I was not flying business this flight, so I was like, oh, period. Like, that was a great little discovery, because I'm usually like a Delta Diamond Medallion, so all of my energy goes into qualifying for Diamond Medallion status every year, so I don't really pay attention to other airline loyalty programs. But Turkish, I would say I'm second highest on there, and then probably Emirates. Yeah, so that's that. What I learned that like there is something beautiful about just taking life as it comes. I know that it's important to plan and it's necessary to like create strategy, but I've always been someone who just creates magic out of whatever's happening in my life, and it's because of that spaciousness that I grant myself. I think that's where I have fun and room to play, and I think we forget that sometimes as entrepreneurs, that like don't get so caught up in the seriousness of planning and profit that you don't actually enjoy the journey. And I'm really grateful that even after 16 years of entrepreneurship, I still enjoy this. Like, through all the chaos that I've overcome, it's still like really, really enjoyable. And that's a privilege. I know that's not everyone's story, so I don't take it for granted. I'm like walking in circles at this point. I should not have come to the road, but here we are. What else did I learn? I learned that there's a version of me when I'm traveling, solo traveling especially, like that has to be on. Like, you might want to relax or like just, you know, take things easy, but it's like when you're solo, you have your guard up a little bit. You have to be mindful of your surroundings. You don't want to get taken advantage of. And I caught myself the other day when the vendor or the merchant was giving me a euro price, and then at the last minute he switched to Turkish lira, and I was like, oh, he's trying. I was in my mind, I was like, oh, he thought he's messing with the wrong one. I know my stuff. And long story short, it was the same. And I was like, oh, glow. It's the trauma for me. Just because it's happened before, and it's like when you get got once, you don't want to get got again. So it's kind of funny just realizing how much I still remember and don't want to experience that again. Okay, and what I felt: exhilaration, energized, a little bit delirious, because I'm like, where am I? Where am I? What am I doing? How did I get here? That's 3 continents in 3 weeks. And it's definitely been a minute since I've traveled at this pace. I'm not editing that out. Not complaining, just still in awe of like this life. So there's that. What else did I feel? I got into it with my mom. It's beautiful, our relationship where we're at. Like, she now, I don't want to say treats me as an adult, and you might be like, wait, what? You've already been an adult. But if you have immigrant parents, you're never really an adult in their eyes. They talk to you like a kid and they treat you like a kid, and you don't really get an opportunity to like be your own person, and they'll use every opportunity to remind you that you're not grown and you haven't gotten your stuff figured out. So there was just like a moment where I think I just like was honest. I was like, hey, like that was disrespectful, or that's not okay. And you know, I'm just proud of myself for like I think in the past, for the sake of like not having these roads are so big, for the sake of not having any drama and like trying to be a good daughter, I just like wouldn't say anything, and I just like in the process became like a pushover. So I think this thing is, it's red. Anyways, in the process became a little bit of a pushover, and I lost that edge. Like, my therapist and I unpack it sometimes, but I'm trying so hard to be a good person that like I've suppressed the emotions that I've like considered bad. Like, I'm not allowed to get angry, I'm not allowed to get frustrated, and so I'll just like push it down when it's okay to feel it. And it's been such a journey, and I'm just grateful for growth, healing, awareness, therapy, all the things. Yeah, that's about it. I will be here for another week. We are onboarding our Life Leap students in our second cohort. So we are putting the final touches loud on our private app community, which is probably my favorite part of all of this. And yeah, check out these streets, huh? Look at that. I'm the worst. I'm like gonna get ran over. So let me finish it out here by this church. Yeah, overall a great week, and I guess expect probably more GoPro videos of like vlog diaries, just to see more of like my surroundings. When I'm home, it makes sense for a stationary setup, but this feels a little bit interactive, so you get a better idea of like what's actually going on in my life. I've taken a week off of Instagram unintentionally, but every time it happens, I'm always so refreshed. And it's just like a reminder, if you are like overwhelmed by social, like take a break. They will not miss you. And if they do, even better for your engagement when you come back. So just giving yourself permission to like disappear and not always do things by the book. Like, create your own rules and allow whatever journey you're on to play out the way it's meant to. Like, we try to control everything, and it's exhausting to like always try to be in control when it's not realistic, and it creates more chaos. And this is something that probably Stefan and I butt heads on, because I'm more go with the flow and he's a little bit more perfectionist than I am. I thought I was bad. He's horrific. He'll tell you himself. And it's just funny because I can see how I used to be played out in his present self. And I'm like, woo, thank God for growth. But it's a journey. All right, y'all, signing out from Sarajevo, Sarajevo, Bosnia. You don't want to get those two confused. Bye, y'all.